Toby Foster at breakfast.
BBC Radio Sheffield.
Are you a fan of the Boston Crab? Or the moonsault? Do you yearn for the days of Big Daddy and giant haystacks on World of Sport? Well, this Saturday, a whole bunch of wrestlers are coming to Sheffield. The event's called Locked and Loaded, and it's taking place at the Sheffield Works Department Sports and Social Club. Ryvacious Ryan Lee is taking part in the evening. He joins me in the studio. Ryan, good evening. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Good evening. So you're a wrestler?
I am, and the joy of being on the radio is I can paint a story because no one can back it up with actual visuals. So if anyone's listening, I'm 6'5" and 200 pounds of muscle.
This is absolutely true. I'm petrified just to sit near him. Why did you want to become a wrestler?
I can't do real jobs. 9 to 5, that's not for me.
Yeah.
I used to watch it as a kid, and it's really exciting seeing like these real life superheroes, running around doing all these crazy moves. But now I've grown up, I'm less about the moves and more about a bit of cheating if the referee's not looking.
Right, so I see.
That's okay.
So what do you wear when you're wrestling?
I wear little tiny trunks.
Oh, really?
Well, lots of people wear tights and a lot, but I like little tiny trunks to show off my body.
Of course you do.
200 pounds of muscle that we referred to earlier.
As well, we know. Tell us about these events. I've got a friend who runs a wrestling company, called Jim Smallman.
Oh, is that Progress?
Progress, that's it.
I've been to their shows, yeah. It's
He tells me that they're just... This is the next big thing and that they're amazing.
Well, it was on... did you see ITV World of Sport recently?
I didn't.
New Year's Eve, it used to be back in the day, before I was born. It came back and it's done quite well. Recently, WWE, a big company in America, they've come over to England and done an exclusive tournament just for UK wrestlers. Yeah. And they've got their own UK title now, so it's... I'd say in England it's becoming like the hot place to be for wrestling.
So what happens? Are there certain companies that get certain venues?
Companies run certain territories. They might step onto other people's toes, but nowadays it's quite polite, can we run this area? And people will say yeah. And
right.
Because there's so many companies popping up, it's impossible for one company to run one city now, where some people like Progress tour around and the O2 Academy and such, whilst you've got companies such as Pro Wrestling Ignition, they do working men's club. They're building their way back up to be like a company like that. Yeah.
So how many people come to the shows?
It ranges, Pro Wrestling Ignition, we're expecting about 80 people so far. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get more in, but it's a first time show, so. And
how many wrestlers are there on the night?
On this show we've got about 10 so far. I think there's only about 5 matches, but some really good talent on there, I'd say. There's I'm going to be facing Joseph Connors, who was in the WWE UK tournament. Yeah. So I'm a bit nervous, but you know what? I've got some tricks up my sleeve, don't worry.
And is it real fighting?
I'd say it's like the cat's out of the bag now. It's a bit like pantomime. You got your goodies, your baddies, but I'm not going to lie, you do get hurt. If you get punched, you're going to get clocked still. But yeah. At the end of the day, it's about putting on a good show. I mean, MMA is a big thing now. Yeah. We can't compete with that. We're on about storylines, spectacle, over the top moves, rather than just ground and pound 1 minute matches. So I think that's our niche now.
So how often do you wrestle?
I wrestle about twice a month at the minute for different companies throughout England. So it's all about picking up experience. That's how you do. You do shows like this, Ignition. That's how you build up to the big ones like Progress. Yeah.
And is it something that you can make a living at as a wrestler?
Yeah, plenty of wrestlers now. Actually do it as a living. El Ligero and the likes, they don't have proper jobs. I mean, I have to work a proper job, sadly. Yeah. But
so what do you do during the day? What's your normal job?
I'm a grocery shopper for Sainsbury's, so 4 a.m. till 8 a.m. and then.
A grocery shopper for Sainsbury's, and then by night you've done your little trunks?
That's it. Well, I had a show in Milton Keynes recently, and it was a ladder match.
Right.
And I'd been up since that morning and went from work to this show in Milton Keynes. Main event, I'm getting thrown off ladders and stuff. And I drove from Milton Keynes straight back home, bed for 5 minutes, and I had to wake up, drive to work, and I've been up for 24 hours at this point.
You've not gone to work in the little shorts by mistake. No,
they were under my trousers, don't worry. I was ready. So
just in case you're ready.
Any rowdy customers, woof off.
So you're a grocery shop. So what do you do then? What was that?
People get their online orders and
right.
through. I get a handset, pick them, put them in a trolley. that sort of stuff.
So little do people know that when they get their online delivery...
They've got a 6'5", 200-pound muscly man putting stuff in their trolley.
They've no idea, have they?
You would think maybe like sometimes I squash stuff because I'm so strong I don't realise it, but if they do, they'll know why now.
So if you get anything from Sainsbury's and it looks like it's been abused, it's just because
I've dropped an elbow on it.
Don't know your own strength. So who's it you're fighting?
I'm fighting Joseph Connors.
All right, I'm just going to Google him, see what I reckon to him. What's he like? Is he any good?
He's a scary man.
Is he?
He is very. He's much bigger than me. The real me, not the fake me. But he was in the UK tournament.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. He's a professor of history and art and Baroque architecture.
Oh.
I think you'll beat him.
Well, I've not been watching tapes on this guy, so I hope it's not him.
Unless there's a different one. I mean, who knew? Well, whereabouts is it going to be then?
It's going to be at the Sheffield Works Department Sports and Social Club, in Healy.
Yes, I do. And it's this weekend?
This weekend, the 18th. Doors open at 6, show starts at 6:30. I don't think there's ever been a show around there before. I'm quite looking forward to this company. It's quite different, where it's like very family orientated, and it's not just that. A lot of focus on like having first time matches. With wrestling, lots of people travel around lots of areas, and like lots of fans will like go like miles just to see a show.
Yeah.
So, but with that, you get like a few matches repeated on one show and another. But on this company, they're really like, well, no one's seen, Joey D versus Chris Tyler. Let's make that happen and see what happens. No one's seen this, and
what are the audiences like? What do they get into it?
They do. I mean, if you go to a progress show, that's like adult orientated, so you'll get people that are drinking and having a laugh. But shows like Ignition are aiming towards families, and I think it's great. Just like when I was a kid, I remember going to my first ever show, and I got a picture of the wrestlers, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" And now it's like I can do the same back. Well, no one wants a picture of me because I'm a baddie, but
so it's good to get the pictures, but the baddie gets the girl.
That's it, exactly. Plenty of ladies, especially with my gimmick. I'm Ryvacious. That's
Ryvacious.
what I call myself.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Ryvacious, thank you very much indeed for coming in. I'll check your hand, but I'm scared you may. I'm prepared to give it.
Risk it, go on.
Hang on a minute. Amy knows she's going. He's on.
He's actually going, huh?
He's just next door to where she lives.
She one of the babes coming.
Yes, precisely. This is Ryvacious.
Nice to meet you. You can meet me after the show if you want.
Meet Ryvacious after the show.
You can get a picture. Nothing rude, that's fine.
He'll have his
family friendly.
Have his little trunks on. Make sure you take your big foam hand with that finger. Ryvacious, thank you very much indeed for coming in. Much appreciated.
Toby Foster at breakfast.
BBC Radio Sheffield.